Welcome to Casual Swinger. If you're under 18, the following podcast is not appropriate for you. The subjects and language are for mature audiences only. If you're not mature in nature, just make sure you're old enough to vote. We don't take ourselves seriously, ever. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any opinions or statements made on this podcast, our website, or our blog. It's all in fun, folks. This isn't Dr. Phil. Now, consider yourself, the listener, properly advised.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Casual Swinger. I'm Mickey.
I'm Mallory.
And we are here with you to talk again. It's like we were just here.
I know,
right?
it feels
Episode 2.
like, what, this morning?
I know, it does feel like this morning. That's right, we're recording 2 in one day because we want to make sure we get these out for you guys and have a little bit of fun and get a great introduction to Casual Swinger and what we're all about. So as part of Casual Swinger for us today, we're going to talk about sex positivity and parenting and why our kids probably are going to need therapy at some point.
It's definitely plausible.
Yeah, they may need it already based on their behavior, but...
You know, and all joking aside, I think it's actually possible. You can be in the lifestyle and an active, responsible parent at the same time.
That's right.
So.
And that's our first segment today, is talking about being lifestyle and parenting and how you respond.
Yes.
And how you respond to the things that happen, right? And, you know, it's funny because some of the things that we're going to talk about today, they really aren't necessarily unique to the lifestyle. Sometimes it's just you and I having a sex life and still
That's
having
true.
Kids, right? So we've got 3 kids. And they're, of course, big disclaimer, our kids are grown. So, you know, tough shit. Stories are funny.
Yeah, the battle scars have been owned.
That's
at
right.
This point.
So we're owning it and we're talking about it. You know, so things like that our kids said and say a lot of times, you know, for example, oh, you guys aren't having sex. You're old. That was one of my favorite things one of my teenagers said to me once. And so my favorite thing in the world is, from when, you know, they were little is when little man, the youngest, walks up and says, "What are all those ooh-ee-ooh-ah-ah noises coming out of the bedroom?"
Yeah.
So my response was, "The reason your sister moved to the basement."
Actually, you were absent for the first part of that conversation. I froze because I don't know if anyone knows this just yet, but I am not the person to call in a crisis or for a cover story. I told him that I stepped on a bunch of hangers and it hurt really bad.
Well, everybody knows if you have kids, you don't step on hangers, you step on Legos. And that hurts, right? Legos actually hurt.
Legit.
So that's the lie you told. Now, of course, at the time, I think he probably bought it.
I hope so.
Yeah,
At
right?
least then. Protecting his innocence.
For so long as we could actually do it. But, you know, but the thing of it is, when they're that young, you know, you don't necessarily want to break the veil of innocence, right? You just do what you can.
No, I agree. There's a time and a place for that, and it wasn't then.
No, definitely not. But as you get older, you know, and of course, as they're older, you know, do you really want to hide that, you know, mom and dad still think each other are attractive and noteworthy?
Brings up a good point, though, when you think about it. I don't know how you were brought up and how sex was viewed in your home, and if, you know, you talked about it openly. I did not. Actually, the sex conversations or the intimacy conversations actually came from my grandmother as I got older. It really wasn't talked about in my house, except this is how you don't get pregnant and this is how you don't get, you know, STDs. And that was basically it.
Well, so that brings us, interestingly enough, your grandmother is one of our early stories, right?
Yeah, she's an early adopter.
Yeah, early adopter. Oh God. So, you know, this lady's cool as hell. Got to tell you guys, she's super cool. But when we first were dating, and I was driving 1,000 miles to see Mallory because the ass was just that good. She was super cool, and she invited us to stay with her, and, you know, not because I was staying in hotels and stuff like that. And she said, you know, come stay here. And I was totally against it because I knew what I wanted to do to her granddaughter. And as it turns out, she knew what I wanted to do to her granddaughter too, and was totally good with it.
Yeah. She had her pom-poms out. She was thinking great grandbabies any day now.
Yeah, well, I took the bullets out of the gun, so she couldn't.
Yeah, we didn't tell her, though.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. Very good time. But the important part is, while we're staying there, this is one of our first stories, and this is staying there, we thought, hey, we don't have the boy right now.
Yeah, he was with my mom.
He was with your mom, so we're like, hey, let's go to the toy store because we love toys, right? Like the Toybox, our third segment for today.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely adore my toys. So yeah, we had to stock up.
We're like, it's like the Bat Cave in our bedroom. We've got so many toys, so many cool things, like your Motor Bunny, which is easily the most we've ever spent on a sex toy.
Oh, absolutely. So we go to the toy store, and part of the goodies that we bring home with us is an assortment of cock rings.
Yeah, it was like the 4th of July spectacular, like 500 different colors or whatever.
There were dozens of them of them in this pack.
Like jelly too, right? Like they were really stretchy. Like you could put them over your head. They were so stretchy. Which I really don't know what the point of that is as far as cock rings go, because I was a cock ring neophyte back then. I'd never really had one before, and I'm like, well, where do you put it over the tip? You put it over your balls? Where do you put these?
Yeah, but you were a pro when it was all said and done, because you ran around that weekend saying what?
I broke a cock ring.
Oh yeah, you were so proud.
I thought I must have the biggest dick in Florida because that thing was. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah. So we ended up using what, 2?
Oh, yeah, we did, because we went to work, and that poor bed. I think it was built in the 60s.
Deaf. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Well, that was what she said to us, right? I'm sleeping on my Goodyear, kids.
Yeah, when she went to bed that night.
Right.
So the next day,
who can have sex when that happens? When somebody says, "I'm sleeping on my Goodyear, children. Have a nice night. Have fun."
Us.
Yeah.
That's who.
That's
us. Exactly who. Us.
We hadn't seen each other in 3 weeks.
So the next day we're having a big family get together, which is pretty common anytime someone comes back into town, or hell, it's a 3-day weekend. So my mom brings the boy back, and 25 people show up the next day for dinner, and like we're all hanging out playing cards.
These people are the fucking Waltons.
Yeah.
There's so many people in this family.
But they're amazing. So everyone's congregating in the living room, which is probably, 10 by 15. So we're all crowded in there. It's very, very small. And everyone's having conversation, and it's really busy and loud. And I kind of felt something tap my shoulder.
But you weren't paying attention. I
was engaged in conversation. So finally it was more like a poke. And then it was like, I will stab you with my pointing finger. Pay attention to me. This is an emergency. And I turn around, and Mickey is like an air traffic controller trying to show me where to look and tell me what's going on, but he's not actually saying anything, so I'm just befuddled.
I am waving my hands like I have semaphore flags at an airport. I'm like an asshole going, get the boy, get the boy, get the boy. So what is happening is he is standing at the top of the stairs. He's supposed to be napping. Now, mind you, he wasn't there when we were playing with these toys.
No,
we had the room
wasn't.
to ourselves, because we're not complete assholes. But he came back the next day. Mom had dropped him off, and she drops the boy off. We put him down for a nap. And he doesn't go down for a nap unbeknownst to us. He digs into my bag and gets out the cock ring of Palooza that I had in my bag and starts shooting them down the stairs rubber band style, bouncing them off the guests' necks, backs, heads. And there's little jelly cock rings rolling around a room full of 25 people.
Literally, because the moment that I turned and realized what was going on, it hit my own mother, who was sitting on the floor 5 feet in front of me, because I was also on the floor, and they were bouncing off her hair.
I got to give your mom credit, because I'm pretty sure she knew what a cock ring was, but she did not acknowledge that she had just been hit with a cock ring.
No, she was in denial.
I think
Absolute denial.
Yeah, and I don't know anybody that's ever been hit with a flying cock ring, but I broke one.
Yeah, so this ended up being a 2-man expedition, because one of us had to stay behind to pick up the cock rings before anyone else noticed, and the other one had to get the boy upstairs and into bed and make sure he didn't, pocket them or hit them for later or gotten into anything else. And thankfully he didn't. We did find one in his pocket.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did slide one into his pocket.
Yeah.
But
it was his superhero ring.
Superhero ring.
It's superhero rings. He wore them on all of his fingers.
Yeah. Fortunately, none of them were used. Guys, that's also important to know.
No, I even inspected between the fingers to see if there was any residual lube slime, just to go, hey, that's honesty.
Yeah, right. But
because I was horrified.
Oh, I was terrified. I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. In reality, it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened to me, because my oldest son, who I'd had in a previous life, I thought that was the top, right? So, I came home from work one day early, and I heard a commotion upstairs because he had a friend over, and his mom was downstairs watching TV or doing something. I wasn't great at paying attention. That's why it's in the past.
You don't say.
Attention span, not one of my strong points. However, when I walked past the stairs, out of the corner of my eye, I looked up and I said, that's different, and kept walking. And then it hit me what I had seen. What I saw was boy number one standing in a sword fighting stance like Errol Flynn, holding out what was, and this was why it was a shock to me more than anything, an enormous dildo. It was a massive dildo.
I can see you holding up your hands, but for our listeners, I mean, that looks like 2 feet.
It was huge.
Long.
But here, you know what I was really shocked about? And the first thing that went through my head is now, why is this boy holding this thing? But where did it come from? Because I'd never seen it before.
Oh, it's in the secret stash?
It was like this.
Oh.
It was like King Dongzilla. It was this gigantic dick, and he's standing there holding it like a lightsaber, like he's a Luke Skywalker. You're going to fight off Darth Vader. Now, that, to me, wasn't... I was just like, whoa, where did this giant dick come from? And then, oh, wait a minute, why is the boy holding it? Now, his friend dives into my view, because remember, I'm looking up the top of the stairs. And that asshole's holding a vibrator, and they're having a sword fight.
Oh, no.
And I'm going, oh, my God. Woman. I need a woman. Well, I really want to know where the dick came from, but now him and his friend are having a sword fight, and I know the vibrator was used.
I was going to say.
Now, what do you do in cases like that?
It was just in your mother's pussy.
Well, I know it was because I put it there. But it's now, as a sex positive parent, I'm like, no, put that down. It's bad. Because they were old enough that they knew what the hell they were doing. They were like 10. And I was like, oh, no, guys. You guys are in big trouble. Get the hell out of my house, you, that I don't know who you are. And don't ever tell your parents you ever came here. And then to my son, I had to go have a talk with him. And I think that was the important thing. I was like, okay, first of all, you're not supposed to be in our bedroom. You went in your mom's drawer. You went under the bed. You knew what you were looking for. Let's talk about privacy. Let's talk about respect. And that was the conversation that we really got into, because when littlest man is firing cock rings down the stairs like he's having the best time of his life. He actually was having the best time of his life.
He wasn't, and it was innocent, but I think an age-appropriate conversation was had of similar nature. Adjusting to their age.
Because he did go into my bag to get
Correct.
him. That's true. Mm-hmm. So, and I think I remember when I was a kid, I went into one of my dad's friend's room and I stole a coin. And it was super cool and I just wanted it, so I took it and he knew it was gone. And he knew it was gone pretty quickly because I was during the same trip. So I took something noteworthy to him. And he came and found me, and he asked me if I had it. And, of course, I was lying because I was like, oh, never seen it. Don't know what you're talking about. What coin? And I think kids do that, right? They're like, they get shy, and they don't want to talk, and they feel like they did something bad. I did. I gave him the coin back, by the way. I'm not a kleptomaniac. But.
Yeah, because I think we're inherently wired. Like, there's some, degree of knowing or feeling right from wrong, but not knowing how to interpret it or anticipating, what response. Am I going to be in trouble?
Yeah.
Is this going to be embarrassing and a really difficult conversation to have? So.
Yeah, well, 30x years later, I remember that lesson from the coin, that I took something that didn't belong to me. So how important is it that somebody responsible has a conversation with you and doesn't make you feel like a pariah, doesn't make you feel like you're evil, and says that was a mistake and here's why. You disrespected me, you treated me badly, and I don't do that to you. Yeah. I don't disrespect you. I don't treat you badly, and we don't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah. I think we've always spoken to our kids like they're people. They're not just children.
Yeah, and I think that's important when we talk about sex positivity, when we talk about young people. How do we teach them how to be that way, how to feel that way, how not to be ashamed of what they are, who they are? And by the way, they have no idea who they are, right? Until everything makes sense to them, until they know everything.
Right. Which could be, every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, right.
Until they're about 40.
And when I say what they are, by the way, I mean, am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Am I an introvert, an extrovert? I mean, I'm not talking about their sexuality or their orientation or any of those things. That's a very personal thing for every person.
It's very personal, and I think we've painted a picture of, that it's very fluid.
Yeah, too. I agree. So it was really, I think, even though and the reason I relate those two things together is because the same thing happened at the end of them. Right. I mean, with, we went a little man, who was very young, rocketing cock rings at your mother's head. And then, the oldest, doing his best Mace Windu impression with a gigantic veiny black dick. Which it's only black because it was, but it was absolutely massive. And I never got a straight answer out of that woman where that thing came from or what its purpose was.
I don't think she owed you one.
Well, I just
and
assumed,
it wasn't me.
I just assumed she used it to club a baby seal to death.
This is pre-Mallory history right
this
there.
This is definitely pre-Mallory
But I'll have to
history.
side with the woman.
You
I
do.
don't think she owed you one.
No, she didn't. But I tell you what, guys, we're going to take a quick break and grab a drink of water and come back, and we're going to talk about the follies of the Hitachi Magic Wand.
Oh, another good one where I fail in crisis.
Horsepower. Yeah, you failed in a crisis. We're going to get right back to you guys. You guys are listening to Casual Swinger. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Casual Swinger. I'm Mallory.
And I'm Mickey.
Thank you guys for joining us for part 2 of our Sex Positive Parenting, episode 3. Remember, if you have any questions or feedback or suggestions, you can find us at www.casualswinger.com or as Casual Swinger on Instagram, Twitter, Cassidy.com, or SLS. So I'm going to go ahead and say and let you guys know I am a huge fan of the Hitachi Magic Wand. I think I've been through maybe 3 or 4 of these.
Also reliable. Good for 100,000 miles.
Yeah, 100,000 miles, easy. Very reliable. One of my favorites. I'm a power queen.
Gotta love Japanese engineering.
So I think we're going to clue you guys in on another little story from our youngest who happened to find this wand, which I don't know if I can tell this story appropriately. I think Mickey does a much better job.
Yeah, it's funny because as sex positive parents, and it's hard to talk about it and not sound like maybe your supervisory skills suck. But
yeah, just explaining it, I'm over here and my face is getting red and I'm starting to fold into my chair.
Yeah, you're taking a defensive posture. You're like, shit, we suck. And it really doesn't happen that way, right? And when we say we're sex positive parents, it means we don't necessarily, we're not Puritans, right? We're not hiding. No. We're not walking around. And it doesn't mean we're walking around in our underwear either. It means that we still have active sex lives and we don't hide it. We don't lie about the fact that we love each other and want to spend time together. And I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But we do take every opportunity, right, to be together when the kids aren't home, right? Because I'll tell you a little something about Mallory. She's not quiet in the sack.
No, definitely not.
No, she's calling her creator at 110 decibels every chance she gets.
Yeah, and when they were younger, it was hard to find that time, right?
It really was. But we had some friends down the street that were more than happy to let the boy come down there and play with another boy his age. And it was a quick little walk. It was only a couple doors down. And when he would disappear, he'd be gone for half the day. It was his favorite place to be because there was nobody his age at our house. The other 2 kids are way older.
Well, and, with them having kids of the same age, it was kind of like that unsaid understanding that we both had. You made plans. I'll bring him back around 4 or, whatever
and
it
so
was.
That's just parenting, right? But we turned that into sex positive parenting by saying, hey, kids are gone, pants off, let's do this shit. And that was one of those days where we went upstairs and she busted out that magic wand and went for the first of like 12 mind-boggling, eye-bugging orgasms.
Yeah, I remember it was a very long romp, several rounds, and it was hot to the touch.
Well, that's exactly how we know it was a long romp, because those things you are supposed to maybe dip them in liquid nitrogen or something to cool them after the first 2 hours of use.
I was going to say, or give them, a 30-minute rest in between.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So this is the best part about this particular wand. When she was finished with it, if you've ever seen a Hitachi Magic Wand, they're really super cool. They weren't designed to be a sex toy, but somebody decided it was way better than its initial design, or at least what it was designed to do. It was designed to be a back massager. It was for your back muscles, and it works way better on your clit muscle, apparently. But
your clit muscle?
Your girly button.
Google that now.
Yeah, your clit muscle, your girly button, the man in the little boat, girl would. But
My
so we had one hell of a romp. And, I'd like to again say for the second episode in a row, Daddy did some solid work. And
round of applause, everyone.
Yeah, golf clap. But the important part was when we were all finished up and everything was good to go, we were getting ready to go out to dinner. So Mallory goes into the bathroom and grabs a shower and is curling her hair and doing everything. And we heard the boy come in and come bobbing up the stairs, and he does that, and he poked his head into the bedroom. What are you guys up to? Blah, 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 getting ready, and we kind of turned our back.
Yeah, and we were a little surprised to see him because he had come home early.
He wasn't even supposed to be home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, so he comes home early and whatever. Hey, how you doing? And he did something that he did not characteristically do, and I don't know that he ever did it again after this. Now that I think about it, but he jumped up into our bed.
Yeah, and he was just sitting there chilling, talking to us. I could hear him from where I was, but I couldn't see him,
which was fine. And I had my back turned, and the next thing I heard was. And I know this is the most annoying noise in the world, but when you're in my shoes, it was fucking terrifying. I was like, oh shit. And I turn around and there's the boy again, holding up Excalibur, like he's holding the sword and the stone, and he's got this vibrator turned to high. And I'm like, oh my God. And the next thing he does is he holds it to his throat like a guy with a tracheotomy. And he goes, hey, you guys, what does this thing do?
So I hear the vibration, and it doesn't occur to me right away exactly what's going on, but I can tell you the exact moment it does. It's like slow motion, and chariots of fire are playing in my head. So I turn the corner, and I'm in the bedroom, and then I freeze. There is my baby on the bed with my toy that I just had on my goodies. Needless to say, I'm horrified, but I am no help.
No, you were no help whatsoever. You stood there like a statue with your mouth wide open waiting for flies. And I, of course, turn around and I'm like, oh my God, put that down. And he looks at me and he's like, why? I'm like, because that's for my back. Oh, okay. And so he throws it down. Now he throws it down on the bed and it's still sitting there just buzzing away. I walk over, turn it off and throw it down. And I'm like, get out of here. What are you doing in here? I was doing right. I just came home to pick up a video game. And,
Yeah, he goes frolicking across the bed, jumps down, goes down the hallway, and then poof, disappears.
He had no idea.
And I'm still standing there like a statue.
Mallory looks at me and goes, what just happened? And I'm like, well, your son just vibrated his throat. That's pretty much what happened.
Mickey, it's one of those stories that I wish at some point I get Alzheimer's. And that's one of the ones that just goes away, gets wiped clean.
But so it's funny because, we talk about this in the context of sex positivity because these are things that happen, right? It's not... it's not a direct result of being in the lifestyle. Not
right.
At all.
It's being a parent and still wanting to have sex with your significant other.
But to me, I think that is part of sex positivity. It's being positive about sexuality and all types of sexuality, right? Not just our, heterosexual, universe, which happens outside of our lifestyle universe, where we're mom and dad or boy and girl, but just being sexual people. And sometimes some things happen and I think they're hilarious. Now, in that same house, we had lifestyle experiences, of course, while those kids were gone.
We did. If we were blessed with a kid-free weekend, we made sure we maximized our time. And some of it was spent just you and I, or you and I and some friends, or you and I and some really good friends.
Some really good friends.
Really
so TNA from episode 1.
That's right. We had them over a few times.
Yeah, they came down. Now, so remember back then, and today that's a little bit different, I think, since we moved to Florida. But back then, we couldn't meet a couple that lived closer than 300 miles away. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was difficult.
It was a hike. And we met this particular couple. If you remember episode 1, we met them at the club through, it was kind of through SOS, but we met them at the club and had an amazing first experience for Mallory. She had hands all over her and thought it was the greatest thing ever. And she liked tea. She thought she was pretty yummy.
He was my first, so it holds a special place. But yeah, we had a great connection, and it was a lot of fun. So we had him down for the weekend to have some more fun.
To connect,
Yeah,
repeat it, and out repeat if necessary. Then.
exactly. Smack it up, flip it, and rub it down.
So yeah, we had him down, and we had a great time. And you know, one of the few times in that house, nothing bad happened, nothing crazy happened. Kids didn't walk in, nothing weird. They came, they went. We came, they went.
I came again.
and nothing happened. But what was it? 6 weeks after they left?
I don't know. I know it was around the holidays because we were moving furniture, you know, the yearly sweep under the couch and maybe move some stuff around to make room for the Christmas tree.
And we got some help, right? We got some help from the teenagers and some of their friends.
Yeah, the oldest had a friend over. And I put the big guys, and they weren't very big. They were maybe 13 or 14.
Oh, no, they were a little older than that, I think. They wouldn't have been
They
big
weren't
enough
old
to help
enough
me
to
move the
drive,
couch.
but they were old enough to have opinions of their own and let us know about
and
them.
to know what the hell that it was they found.
Exactly. So I have the boys move the couch, and the friend picks something up, and he goes, "What is this?" And I see the purple cap, and I go, "Oh, shh!" And before I could get anything out of my mouth, I look down, and there's a string, like this translucent string coming from the floor up to this child's hand. And he goes, "Astroglide? What's that?" And thank God he couldn't read the rest.
But it was stuck to his hand.
It was stuck to his hand. And then they start dancing, like Risky Business and the socks sliding across the floor going, "Astroglide, ooh, it makes the floor slippery." So they they proceed to have ice capades in the living room.
On my hardwood floors.
On our hardwood floors. And again, me, frozen, in crisis. I believe I blurted out something like, "Damn it, let's just get this done and throw that in the trash."
And my favorite question from the oldest was, "Can you explain to us why you needed Astroglide in the living room?"
Yeah, because he never said anything. He was trying to maybe protect my, I don't know.
What virtue?
Yeah, I was trying to find the right word. I was like, I haven't had it in a long time. What's that word called again?
Yeah, so, we're not perfect by any means, and I don't think any of our listeners are going to be perfect. I think these things happen to regular people, and they happen to lifestylers too. So yeah, we had some friends down, and somebody left a bottle of lube under the couch.
Do you remember?
I'm saying somebody. I'm looking at you.
I know. I'm pretty sure it rolled off somewhere wherever we had piles.
You
of
usually
humans.
don't need it. What was it there for?
I think it was for the inside of the condom.
Oh,
I believe that's what it was
inside
for.
the condom. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, but do you remember part of that conversation we had afterwards? He was just, I don't know if he was concerned about us having sexual activity in the living room where everyone shares the same space, or to ensure it was us. I'm still torn on where his mind was during that
I'm
follow-up
certain
conversation.
he thought it was us. I'm certain of that because he was always totally grossed out every time we would be affectionate.
Yeah, and he's definitely the more serious of,
he still is.
the ones. So
yeah, and he definitely is. But it's funny because as teenagers, right? I mean, what was it? The conversation we had with the middle child, who comes into my bedroom and goes, "I really want to know why you have a plant hook in the middle of your bedroom."
Oh, the plant hook. That's right. The huge metal ring that can support up to 400 pounds that was in front of your closet.
Yeah.
That never had a plant on it.
No, it did have you hanging from it a few times.
Folks, that is where the sex swing lived.
Now, of course, we'd take the swing down and put it in the closet, but the kid comes in and goes, "What's that?" I said, "It's a plant hook." And she goes, "Why is it in the middle of the room?" That didn't occur to me that plant hooks don't go in the middle of a room. She goes, "Is it supposed to be in front of a window?"
Oh, because I can't keep houseplants alive. Do you remember this child explaining that we don't keep a plant on that hook because of that reason?
Yeah. And that hook was there to the day I sold that house, everybody. I mean, and I took it out, and it was kind of a moment.
It was.
Finally took that hook down.
It's like taking the family name plaque off the front door.
So, these things don't end, right? Because now our kids are grown, right? I mean, they are. And and they are really something else. They're amazing people. They're intelligent. They're smart. They're funny. Intelligent, smart, maybe two different things. They may be the same thing. I don't know, but they really have grown a ton. But I think they've come into a certain amount of sex positivity of their own, right?
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. They have come into their own, and they're well adjusted.
Very much so, hardworking, functioning members of productive society.
Yeah, and comfortable with themselves.
Yeah,
That's
so
who they are.
Fucking comfortable that, I still have a college student that lives here, and that college student apparently shops on Amazon, unbeknownst to me.
Oh.
And, yeah, look at you.
Lots of other places, yeah.
Oh God! But and this is the last story we'll tell you before we move on to the next segment. But I think it's illustrative of, that they do come into their own, and they do have predilections of their own that
They
maybe sometimes Dad
do.
is not a big fan of. So, but we are honest on Casual Swinger, if nothing else. So the last story I'm going to let Mallory really kind of share the lion's share of, but the facts of the matter are we were at a dinner and we came back, and we do have some very energetic dogs. Occasionally you guys will hear them in the background because they're also assholes.
Yes.
And I think something had happened. We came home from a dinner.
We went out to a family dinner, which I find to be a rare occasion. So we do try to do our best to make time to get everybody together, especially as the kids get older. So we all walk in. We have multiple dogs in the house. So the first order of business is to come in, check on the pups, make sure they get to go outside, all that good stuff, and go from there. Maybe have, a game out or play some cards. I don't know what we talked about. But the college student and I are the first through the door. And then we are followed by the youngest. College student goes back to talk to you. The youngest and I get to the kitchen, and the dogs had been free roaming in the house. And occasionally they get into stuff they're not supposed to. Like,
clearly,
I don't know, the trash, rolls of toilet paper they seem to love, unrolled. So the youngest sees something's in the dog's mouth, and he is yelling, "Get over here. Let me see what you got." So I am 10 feet away from him. He's got the dog. He pulls it out of the dog's mouth, and he goes, "What the heck is this thing? It's the weirdest dog toy I've ever seen in my life." And he holds it up. And again, bless his heart. I don't know how he gets into these predicaments, but he seems to have a predilection towards them. Is a fuzzy, now wet ball with a spade-shaped end that is metal. And ding, dawns on me, he's holding a butt plug.
Oh, God.
So he drops it.
That grosses me out so much.
He drops it because it's slimy and disgusting. And I go, "That's not mine." So I scurry off to go find the college student because I know exactly who that belongs to.
Well, because you knew it wasn't yours, I would assume.
It wasn't his. Not mine. No, it wasn't yours. So,
what I had heard is, "Don't come in here. Dad, don't come in here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I had got her and told her exactly what we had found. And she goes, "Oh, shit." Turns around, "Dad, stay right there."
Which I'm really grateful for on a lot of levels, right?
Well, and she knows, you know what? I have to appreciate that. It's not because she's not open to talk to you about things, because you two have a fantastic relationship. Absolutely fantastic. But there's certain things she wants to keep private from you, and that's okay.
I'm good with it.
That's absolutely okay. And I support that. In that moment, I was supporting my belly because I was doubled over in laughter, waiting for the rest of this all to unfold. So
part of me is happy that it was just a butt plug and not the Penetrator 3000 that my ex had. So.
Again, more power to you. If you like what you like and you're comfortable, and rock on, sister.
Doubles as personal protection.
Yeah, maybe. So, the budding tail thing was new for me. I didn't know that was part of the collection at this point. So, she gets the toy. And she stomps upstairs because she's pissed. She's pissed because she just got back from a trip to seeing her significant other. So apparently this had come out of her suitcase. The dog had went upstairs and retrieved this specifically. And I hear, God damn it, dog's name. This was brand new.
Oh, God. Well, at least it wasn't used. I mean,
and that was an afterthought for me. I was like, well, that's good news because I'm over here sanitizing the Angus hands and washing the dog's mouth out.
well, I don't think I would have let the dog lick me ever again. I mean, really, let's be honest. I mean, her breath smells like shit anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well,
she's a dog.
she probably thinks ours does too.
She thinks I'm delicious. Most chicks do. But, so sure, we told a bunch of stories here tonight, 35 minutes worth of the follies, right? Right, just the kind of the things, and they all kind of come around because of togetherness, right, and sexuality, and of course they involve having a family, and I think it speaks to why. So when we moved down here, one of the things that we noticed is there's a really active lifestyle scene in Florida.
There is.
Like there's a lot of people into the, and I hear there's an active one in Scottsdale, Arizona. I hear there's an active one in Southern California. So people move where it's warm and get their groove on.
Well, it is a lot easier to get busy when you're not wearing a parka.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And when you don't have
footy pajamas,
football games to go to or taekwondo to run kids to, and you're not exhausted at the end of the day.
That's true.
Right? So, but is it realistic to expect people to wait till they're in their late 40s, early 50s to really expand and explore their sexuality? Do you have to wait that long? And that's the question this whole episode begs is we didn't. We found ways to do it, and it does take work and it does take time. It does. And it kind of makes you a casual swinger.
I have to agree. I have to agree, not degree.
What is degrees? It's like 70 of them outside.
Yeah, there's like 80 of them in here, boy. Woo.
That's because I'm hot.
Oh, yeah, it's all you, baby cakes.
That's right, baby, and I'm all yours. But, I think that it kind of wraps up for us in a nice little bow what this whole episode has been about, which is talking about, as sex-positive parents, as lifestyle parents, we are honest with our kids as they get older, more and more honest, obviously. And we don't want to, we haven't even come out to them and told them, what we do with our lives. And I don't think you should, or you should have to. It's your business. It's my business. It's our business. But at the same time, I think if you want to have that sort of a lifestyle, you can, regardless of what lifestyle you choose to live, and accept that there's going to be some follies. Right. There's going to be some things that happen that you don't plan for. And I think that was more important for us to talk about than to get on here and try and be psychotherapists and tell people.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely not registered anything.
Oh, I'm certifiable, but not certified anything.
There you go.
Yeah. And I think if I could give any advice to parents who want to be in a lifestyle or want to do this sort of thing, it's, hey, shit's going to happen. And so instead of getting on and trying to encourage you and not preparing you, I figured I'd tell you all the worst things that happened to us. Right. And certainly Mallory has been a little more scarred. I think, she's still afraid of her wand, but
no, I'm definitely not afraid of the wand.
And I laugh when I really shouldn't, right? And anybody with a tracheotomy on one of those little machines, I really shouldn't laugh as hard as I do. But I have a story behind it that I can't tell, which is a fun secret. And I think the secrets are the best part of the lifestyle, right?
Yes, sir.
So with that, we're going to wrap segment 2 of Casual Swinger. I had to think about it for a second. But we're going to wrap segment 2, and we're going to come back with Mallory's Toy Box.
Yay! I'm so excited.
So Mallory's Toy Box is where we go every once in a while to find out what she's playing with lately. And she's had a big smile on her face, kids.
I may have been playing the whole time.
So you guys sit tight, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Casual Swinger. Hey everybody, welcome back to Casual Swinger. Thanks for hanging out for us and waiting for the last segment of today's episode 3, which is, I think, the one that my lady here has been looking forward to the longest, which is Mallory's Toy Box, and she's going to introduce you to some of her favorite stuff. Mallory, why don't you tell them what you got today?
Thank you, Mickey. So let me preface this with, I am a vibrator connoisseur. Amateur, but been in the game quite a few years. So believe me when I tell you that the Womanizer Premium Clit Stimulator is my new favorite in the bag of goodies. There's a few things here. If you've played or seen the Womanizer, the first few versions, they're a little shorter, little bulkier, and they've redesigned it to be more ergonomical, which means when you're holding it down there next to your lady friend, it's much more comfortable. The other thing that I really love about this is the clit suction section of this device is touch sensitive. So when you apply it to skin, it turns on, and when you take it away, it turns off. It is super quiet, literally the most quiet vibrator I have in my bag, but definitely one of the more strong, I guess is you can describe it. With it being a clit stimulator, the feeling is much more different than your standard vibe. It's much deeper for me because of the areas that it covers around the clitoris. So it can get pretty intense. A few things you should know about this is, one, the reviews are outstanding. Feel free to look it up online. They have 12 intensity levels, so that's different levels of intensity depending on where you're at. Again, I am and I just touched it to I don't know if you could hear that because it's so quiet, but I touched it to my chest and it started vibrating.
So which intensity level do you use? Right. Inquiring minds want to know.
Right. So I'm an intensity queen, so it's all about the level of the vibe. For me, and this was very, very impressive for being a small device. It's got up to 4 hours of battery time on one charge. It takes, it says 120 minutes here to charge, but this bad boy for me, about 45 minutes to an hour, full battery.
Yeah.
It's got a magnetic USB pin, which means there's nothing to insert or plug in, and it's fully waterproof because of that as well. So this is submergible. So I can take this in the shower, I can take this in the bathtub, I can take this in the pool. So that's definitely a big plus for me, which made it worth the investment because it is on the pricier side. I think it retails somewhere around $200.
So this would be considered a premium toy.
Premium toy, absolutely. The head of it, where the clit stimulator is very soft silicone material. I'm very sensitive down there. So it's important to me that these are high quality because I don't want my little girl hurting. I don't want her sore or any of those things that some of the less expensive toys tend to do, and I have to protect myself against with, stuff like condoms, especially for insertion.
Absolutely. Insertion is a big deal.
So again, touch sensitive, it turns on and off with, applying to skin. I mean, you do have to turn on the button, but it also has something neat where you can do something called autopilot, which means you set 3 different intensity levels, hit the button, and just ride the wave. It's touch-free at that point. Yeah, and it's great with your partner because it's so compact and sleek that if you're, having a, couples play or group play and you need a little extra down there, it's not big, it's not bulky, it's not loud. It is absolutely perfect and discreet. So I'm going to go ahead and play with this a little bit and give you guys an idea. Our mics are super sensitive, so let's start there. So I'm going to start this on the lower setting, and as I touch my finger to it, I'm going to increase it. So just so you can get an idea here. So we're going to start there, go up a tick, and I'm holding the button down. And you can hear it. I can feel it vibrating. It doesn't get much louder until you get to the very, very highest setting. Now
even so, that you can't hear that. Yeah. I mean, outside of this room, there's no chance you could hear that.
No chance. It's one of the most technologically advanced toys that I have, and also one of my favorites. I never thought I'd be this into a clit stimulator. I've had maybe 1 or 2 in the past, and they've been okay, but they've never got me to the job well done point. This actually has an orgasm guarantee.
Right. What toys have an orgasm guarantee?
I don't know. But we're going to put the link with this cast up. This is from, I believe it's called ellaparadise.com.
Yep. Ella Paradise without an E, Paradis.
Yes.
That's
there
right.
There you go. So you can find them in 3 different colors and the other versions on there as well.
Right. Well, and I think as far as this toy goes, right, I mean, you do have a tendency to sneak away sometimes to have a little, maybe between lunch,
Oh yeah,
adventure session.
I am famous for having an afternoon or two.
Yeah, and this one you can't hear it. Like she's got a couple toys that sound like she started a Husqvarna in the bedroom.
Again, I love my Hitachi. I love the power that it brings, but it is definitely not the most discreet or compact.
Mm-hmm.
So
this one combines waterproof and it combines handheld. I mean, you don't have big hands, which is why my dick looks amazing in them. But it's like a midget holding a sausage. It's really awesome. But no, it's like it really is small. It fits right in your hand, and yeah, it does come with a premium price tag. But one of the things that's probably worth keeping in mind, since I went ahead and brought up the website because I was curious while she was talking, and they have a lot of different models, right? She has the premium. She has the Ferrari of the models, but there are actually multiple models available to you. There's a model that actually does like inside out, and there's a
yeah. They have many products on this site. All come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. By the way, you take it, you use it, it doesn't work for you. There's something they give you a number and or on the website to contact them and get your 100% refund,
which is awesome, and they're as little as $80, right?
Yeah, and how many vibes do you get to drive for a month before you decide if you want to keep it?
Right. Usually, once they put batteries in and they show you it vibrates, it's yours.
Yeah. Bye.
Right. Yeah. And so I think we bought this from Fair Villa, right, which is in Orlando.
Yes, we did, and then I did some more research on it because it's the first time I stumbled upon this product. This store in particular had a lot of items on the shelves that I had never been able to see in person before. So we did, I don't know, hours of research while we were there.
Not the worst store to spend hours in.
Yeah.
We almost went there tonight, actually.
Yeah, I know. I think we're going to go tomorrow.
We're going to go buy some toys, kids.
But it was really cool to be able to see all of these in person. Then I've been looking at this website forever, trying to, debate whether or not I pull the cord.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did, because it's been a fun toy to play with, and it's certainly not a bad toy to apply to your toy box for the first time.
No, it wouldn't. And would you say that it's less distracting for you when we use it for our play?
I think, yes, it's certainly from, for example, the top-down position, and I really don't, it's not really doggy style because you're laying over a pillow, but that's a great one for you because you can get, down there and put your toy on your clit with me behind you and kind of semi on top of you from behind. But yeah, it doesn't interfere at all. I can get max penetration, as you found out last night, but... it was fun.
I think it's really sweet that you're still relishing that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that's been walking funny all day, so I can only tell when you sit down, which is the best part.
Man. So I digress. So again, I am the proud owner of a Womanizer premium clit stimulator. I love the thing, but I think they have a lot of great products out there. If you've never used one, do your research, see if it's a good fit for you. It's just really high quality and a great product line.
Their claim on their website is 80% in 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
2 to 3 minutes to go.
Of women that use it have an orgasm within 2 to 3 minutes.
Why is every toy company trying to put dicks out of a job?
That's an entire episode in and of itself, sir.
There you go. Well, speaking of episodes, that does bring us to the end of ours. Episode 3 is to a close. Oh, no.
Oh, I love spending time with you guys.
I thought it was me.
You too, baby.
I don't think so. I think she's lying. But hey, this is episode 3 in the bag. You have been listening to Casual Swinger. And if you guys want to reach out to us, we are interested to hear what you have to say, or maybe some of your stories. What happened to you as sex positive parents? I'm sure that I'm not the only guy who had a kid that fought with a giant dick as a lightsaber. But if somebody else out there did, I would love to hear about it. How do you get a hold of us? You can get a hold of us on our website. We've got a contact page at www.casualswinger.com. You can reach out to us on our Instagram page at Casual Swinger. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Casual Swinger. You can also find us on SLS and Cassidy. We're all over.
At Casual Swinger.
At Casual Swinger. There's a theme here. And speaking of themes, Mallory, what are we going to talk about in episode 4?
We're going to talk about Hallow swinging.
Oh no, that's coming, isn't it?
That's coming. It's right around the corner. So Halloween's at the end of the month. And we're going to talk about some of our experiences, hotel parties, clubs, and
we've got a party coming.
We do have a party coming. We will be attending an event at the end of the month, which we'll tell you more about in the next episode. So lots to talk about next time. So make sure you guys join us for episode 4 of Casual Swinger.
That's right. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We'll see you soon.